Okay.
Welcome back, ladies, gents, and everybody in between to the Band of Misfits podcast, the showcase of controlled chaos we call our friendship. It's just the four of us tonight as we celebrate Shiota's birthday podcast, finally!
Weeks! It's been weeks!
So I'm gonna let him do his thing.
63 days! 63 days!
63!
It's been 63
Yes, I counted it out. And it was actually not as tedious as I had expected. But yes, 63 days.
Oof, now I really feel bad.
Yeah, we could have done yours before mine.
Now, I am one of those particular people that don't like to celebrate things early or late. But things happened, and by being by, here we are.
At least we're doing it.
So as anyone who's been listening has noticed, I am very big into Japanese animation or animation in general. And when someone says animation, they typically think of the Eastern. But let's talk about where we actually live, the Western Hemisphere.
So today's podcast is about Western animation. Woo!
Sorry, I had to swallow. I had to swallow a cough.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm gonna let Shiota run this for the most part, and I'm just gonna moderate because this is definitely his area. So
I mean,
go ahead and let you do your thing.
Before we started recording, we were talking about Teen Titans, and no, not the sucky one that can go born in hell. But I'm talking about like the
original
good Teen Titans. We will not utter the name of the travesty that is now on screens. We will not.
They're creating a movie.
They already did.
Let's not talk about it.
They already did.
It was dumb.
Let's not talk about that.
And let's actually talk about the good one. First off, who was everyone's favorite character in that?
Raven.
Raven but Dad, I loved Starfire though. I'm gonna say, but I did love Raven too. So it's a tie between them for me.
I have to say Robin.
Raven.
Well, I'm outnumbered. Okay.
Wait, Shiota, that's another thing you and I think.
Raven.
Add it to the list.
I just want you to know, if you're a girl or someone who identifies as if you are a girl or identify as femme, non-binary, whatever, and you liked Raven as or Starfire as a kid, you're gay now.
That's basically what that means. Yes.
That's exactly what that means.
That is exactly.
It's the same thing with Shigo. If you like Shigo from Kim Possible as a kid, you're gay now. Sorry.
Did you know, like, apparently all of her siblings were like pronouns and go?
I love that.
We go, they go, us go. It was we go.
That's so dumb. But I love it.
Lazy writing, folks.
Kim Possible was good, man.
Kim Possible was great, but you have to admit some of the names that they came up with.
Shigo's voice actress gave me absolute life. I loved her so much.
I actually never really watched that show.
Dude, I watched every single episode, every single movie. It came
Shigo was so hot. Oh my god. I absolutely was a simp for Shigo.
Go ahead.
I just want to hear y'all's opinions about Tara.
Oh, that's kind of a tricky That's
She stopped being a victim in my eyes when she just continued being a dick to everybody after she,
she does kind of sacrifice herself.
to an extent, but like,
For an extent, she
Teen
was.
Titans. She was the worst.
Yeah.
I hated her character.
because like you can't continue like it's the perpetual victimhood for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Robin went through something similar, and he like came pretty much snapped out of it and took responsibility for his actions. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went through that because he was being blackmailed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I know it's a little bit different, but like, and I know Tara was young and just getting into her powers, but like, I still feel like there needs to be like, your actions are still your actions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, she chose to do it. I'll say Robin had a reason. He was being blackmailed, for God's sake.
And also, even that couldn't make him like.
No, even that didn't
Go.
fully make him go.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, yeah, not a fan.
I hated her character.
Yeah, she was a very complex character, I will admit. Too complex for my
Young brain.
for my young brain to comprehend. I mean, I could probably go back and watch it and dissect her story arc, but I don't have the effort to. And whenever I do go back to Teen Titans, it's always to watch Raven's arc again.
Oh, Raven's arc is so good, though.
Yeah.
Raven's arc is so good. I could watch her. Man, old kids' cartoons had the best redemption arcs. I don't know why.
Character development.
Yeah, it's like Raven and Zuko had two of the best like redemption arcs of any cartoon characters ever.
But transitioning, let's talk about Avatar, because that's also a what's the
love
one?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was my childhood. I watched that was the first cartoon I ever watched every single episode for.
It was one show that was anime, but it wasn't anime.
Right. It is so close to being.
Like it's
Teen Titans was like that too.
Yeah.
But like.
I mean, with Teen Titans, you could still see that it was still a cartoon geared towards kids, but like Avatar, like there's a few episodes where like, do I really want to have my trivial child watching this? I mean, the blood bending episode.
Oh
yeah,
episodes that were
that was so dark. I need to rewatch it, but like the blood bending episode was such an interesting exploration.
It was
of Katara's character.
Can we all agree that cartoons from back in the day weren't afraid to cross that line and go into the dark?
They just
no. And
then nowadays they're all sunshine and roses because parents are way too sensitive about things.
I would debate that, but I'll wait till later.
No,
I'm curious about that.
That are still not afraid to toe the line and stuff. But nowadays it's so much more like restrained, I think.
I'm actually curious about this actually for what the future will come.
Guys aren't as ingrained into modern animation as I am, but I'll hold off on that till later. Because I do want to get into the topic of modern animation later, but let's stick to the old good days.
Okay. Tales of Ba Sing Se is a case study in how to do a filler episode. Yes. That is how you do a filler episode.
It was a filler, but it didn't feel like a filler.
It didn't feel like one, and also we learned about characters throughout the episode.
I didn't realize until I was older that it was a filler.
I was story was so fucking sad, especially since it was dedicated to his voice actor who passed away.
I know.
I know.
That ending,
Oh.
Leaves on the Vine, that song will go down in history.
Even
So
Momo's
Oh my
even
god,
Momo's
Momo.
little arc where they're looking for Appa because he's still gone. For me, which was kind of the weak link for me in that episode, was still good. Do you know what I mean? So I really don't have many. It's just really great. Avatar had filler episodes that never felt like filler because they explored characters and other plot lines, and it was just the writing in that show is just outstanding, and it always has been. You know,
Toph's the little part with Toph and Katara, that one hit home with me personally, just because that topic was not an easy one, especially for a cartoon.
Oh, and then the Zuko life-changing adventures. Life-changing field trips with him.
I love Katara and Zuko's episode was still one of my favorite filler episodes in Avatar.
I mean, because of that episode, a lot of people still think they should have gotten together.
I have mixed feelings about that, but
I'm not a big fan of May's character, to be fair. But
it was just a moment. The whole episode was like Zuko being like, "This girl could have killed me if she wanted to, and she chose not to." Do you know what I'm saying?
How powerful she was, and went, "Holy crap, she could have killed me at any time."
Oh yeah, his face when she did the blood bending on the cap.
Because like
that was actually, I think that was in the final book though.
It was,
but like this, even back then, she could have killed him.
Oh yeah,
to be honest with you, like
honestly.
easy. No, it was this utter respect that was gained, and like I enjoyed the fact that she chose not to kill the guy who killed her mother.
Oh
It
yeah,
shows how much she had grown as a person.
It would have been so easy for her, you know, because he. Oh man!
like she created thousands of spikes.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
so
she
easy.
could have easily pulled the trigger and had a guy be Swiss cheese.
Yeah,
She almost did.
I
That
wouldn't
guy
have.
was pathetic.
No, for real. Like, imagine, like, just your life just rolls down into this pathetic little mass, and it's just that was just so satisfying and so interesting. All right.
It dealt with like PTSD when like Aang got shot in the back by Azula.
Yeah, Zula. Yeah.
I loved the way that they handled that.
Azula is still one of the best villains in any television show.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Is it okay? This may be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, Azula is a lot better than Ozai as a villain.
I totally agree
okay,
because
good,
Ozai is very one-dimensional. He's very one-dimensional.
His
He's just
character, didn't really change. She was.
there was nothing. Yeah, he was
psychopath.
just a dick the whole time. He didn't really change. There's nothing like dark in his. Azula was a child like bred to be a war weapon, basically, and that was like.
Did any of you see the Avatar comic that came out after?
Yes,
I did.
Where, like they go searching for Zuko's mom. Like that just makes like that. The end where she confronts Ozai, like honestly, was the best.
It's just you just don't. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like the way they deal with delusions and hallucinations as a part of mental illness with Azula.
Oh yeah, when
Yes.
she thinks she sees her mom.
Very interesting. Mild exploration in the schizophrenia. Very interesting. But she was, I don't know, she just really hit the nail on the head in terms of great villains. And I remember being young and being so scared of her because she would come come through, and just she had no mercy, and just was. I know some people have analyzed her as having antisocial personality disorder, and just like the way that upbringing and childhood mixed together, like just like there's a discussion in psychology of nature versus nurture constantly, and the way they like brought that together with Azula to demonstrate that was really interesting to me. And
also, we should touch on the symbolism in that show, because god damn it, like
the symbolism was fabulous. So
when there was this one scene. Zuko was back in the Fire Nation capital, and there was this imagery where like Zuko was always in the dark, but Iroh was always in the light.
Right, that was great.
Like I didn't realize that because I was still young, and when I realized that,
great animation.
Oh shit!
Just beautiful staging throughout the show. That was just small details like that were constantly put in, and it just made it so great. The animation style was beautiful.
That was
obviously.
a show. That was one of those shows that both the young generation and the older generation could enjoy together.
It's just so. It was just so beautifully done. I don't think anything in recent time comes even close to Avatar in terms of artistry and writing. Like I personally don't.
As someone who is familiar with modern animation, I will have to agree.
It was just a masterclass in beautiful storytelling. It was a masterclass in storytelling. That's what it was. And really, even Sokka's art, I really enjoyed all the details sprinkled in with him becoming, like, learning how to treat women and shifting his view about what makes a woman important. By mix, and also the way that they demonstrate strong women in more than just one way. That was something Avatar did really well.
Yes.
I like the Moon episode where the princess, the Water Tribe princess, she was like a demonstration. We've seen so many. We'd already met Azula, I think, by that point, and then like. We get to the point where we meet this girl who's like the complete opposite.
I don't think.
Had we? No.
No, we haven't.
Had we not? No. Okay. That might be a little early. But like,
we haven't.
Everybody talks about like the, Kyoshi warriors and Katara. Like those are really in Azula. Those are all really cool, strong female characters.
Yeah.
And May too.
Yeah. There was one line. That was said. Wow, I'm blanking on her name. But the Kyoshi Warriors, where she said, "I am a warrior, but I'm a woman too."
Yeah,
Suki.
but
Suki,
there's
right.
Suki, yeah. But like, I thought that the Water Tribe prince. I'm blanking on her name.
I think it was like Yuna or something.
Yuna, yeah, I think so, something like that. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Yuna or Uni?
Uni, something like that.
Uni.
Yeah, you're right, Uni. But yeah, she was a demonstration of strength in traditional femininity, where she's very feminine, but she made this sacrifice that took a lot of strength and willpower, and that it was a demonstration of the different kinds of strength in healthy masculinity and varying forms of femininity throughout the show. It's really great too.
I have to say,
her name was you.
You, that's right, you.
Like,
Princess
doesn't
You.
sound right. No, it was you, yeah.
You, that's right. Princess You.
Okay.
She was just a beautiful demonstration of, like, you don't have to be a warrior to have strength as a person. That was really, I love it.
I did like how they kept with Sokka at all the way up till the Serpent's Pass, where he mentioned like he's still is like in love and misses because he lost her.
Yeah.
And because he was super protective over Suki. So like I love that they kept that through.
Well, because it's a link with trauma, because just so much of Sokka's arc is learning what healthy masculinity is, and how to like appreciate femininity as strength too with his sister, I think. But like Aang is a demonstration of healthy masculinity that I think kind of is a good foil to Sokka. Like, but I don't know. I thought it was just great character development just overall with every character I was on that show.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite Avatar episodes was The Storm, which was like it was one of the Muse knows what I'm talking about. It was like it was like in the first 10 episodes. I forget which episode it was specifically, but it showed that the protagonist and the at the time antagonist were not that different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it showed these two stories side by side, and like
was that the one with Zuko, or was that different?
It showed the backstory of both Aang and Zuko.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're both just children. You gotta remember, like we think of Zuko as
into a war.
Yeah, like we think about Zuko as like this really mature, much more, and he was mature. He was a very mature character, but he's a teenager. He's like 15.
He was not that mature in the very first.
He was not that mature in the very first, but we see him as like this, like basically when you're kids, you just assume Zuko is like older and like just he's in charge of like a whole warship, basically. Yeah. And he's what? I think he's supposed to be 15, or 14. So like it's like.
Is he though? Because I thought Aang was 12 at the time.
Oh, Aang was not 12.
He was 10.
He was 10. He was younger.
He wasn't. No, I don't think he was. Hang on, let me look.
I think he was, 10 sounds right. Yeah, no, Zuko
I mean,
was
he looked 10, but I don't think he actually was 10.
Yeah, because Azula was the younger sister. So
biologically, he was 112 years old.
Well, yes, but that's
so he was 12. Because he
I was right. I was right.
He was 112, though.
Yeah, no, but like he was like, if he wasn't frozen in ice for 100 years, he was 12.
Then that'd be right. Yeah. But like, no, because we think of Zuko.
Zuko was 16.
16. Yeah, and Azula was 14. That's right. And that's what it was.
Yeah, they were all just teenagers.
She seems older.
I know. We think of Azula as so much older, but she was a 14-year-old girl. Let's remember that. Like,
she did not look 14.
Yeah, because that was part of the great character development too. Because the representation of Azula looking older than her age with all the makeup she had plastered on was like part of her feeling like she needed to be more mature for her father because she was destined to be some warlord, and that is just great representation.
Yep,
I think she did look younger in the third book where
because like it's the prim proper appearance is starting to crack through.
Well, no, the episode where Zuko was finally able to come back to the palace and he's questioning her, like, why did he tell father I killed the Avatar? And she has no makeup on in that.
Yeah, I think it's just showing a progression of like, it's also part of Azula's mental health progression, I think, was part of that, because her mental health was deteriorating rapidly by that time.
Oh, yeah. Well, now I'm thinking, like, a 14-year-old being told she was going to be Fire Lord. It's like all that power for
just
a 14-year-old.
Imagine what a dumbass you were when you were 14. Can you what we were when we were 14? Can you imagine what we would have been like?
Nuts.
Would have been you would have been a nightmare, just like she was. Exactly.
Okay, I think we should move on with this.
I mean, it's so hard to not just rant about how great
I know,
Avatar
I get
is.
it.
Oh yeah, no.
It's one of the best ones. But speaking of Katara and Zuko, did you know that there was another animated series where the voice actors actually did end up getting together? Like they played or voiced two characters that actually got together.
Which one was that?
There was a Disney show called American Dragon Jake Long.
Oh my god, yes, I love that show.
Thank you.
I love that show. I grew
American
up.
Dragon Drake Long.
Yes.
my
Yes,
god!
I grew up with that.
So good.
I will admit, when they changed the
You're right. Shout out to that time they just changed the animation
Yes.
style out of nowhere in the
Remember when
middle.
they abruptly
of the
changed the
show?
animation style?
That
That was
was
so wild.
completely confused. So let me explain. So American Dragon Jack Long is about this half Chinese, half American kid who grew up in New York City. He was, if I believe so, he was also Paul Dragon.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
dragon warrior. He was a descendant from some warrior in
Dragon
his
up.
Chinese line. It was really good, and Disney used to do the best animation. I really miss that. That was way back in the day, but like. Really
But
good.
yeah, that animation style, like who decided on that?
Who
'Cause
decided to switch it?
Dude, I hated when
I'm
they
so
switched the
mad about it
animation. It's
still.
horrible.
I was like, no, why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Yeah, they just
There,
abruptly
see, that's the old
changed
one.
it halfway through.
Oh wait, if you
I have this game.
Yeah, that's the original
well.
animation, and then they changed it to this weird. I mean, I know the way they changed it is more of like the traditional Chinese
Oh.
dragons, how the traditional Chinese dragons are.
I
viewed.
think she recognizes it.
They
I
changed
recognize
it to those
it.
noodle dragons, which is what the traditional is, but you can't just change it halfway through without an explanation.
Yeah, like,
Right.
Yeah, it just. Oh, I did not like the way they changed it. It was so
I mean,
weird.
okay, I kind of liked. I like what the human forms, what Jack's human form looked like in season 2, but I don't like what the dragon form looks like.
Me
Yeah,
either.
I agree. I like the human form, but I did not like the dragon form.
If you want to talk about it in a series that constantly, nope, not series, shut up.
Siri, hello.
If you want to talk about an animation series that changed, that always changed animation styles, Ben 10.
Ben 10
Oh, God,
could
so
not
many.
stick to a consistent animation style.
No, it wasn't.
Aren't they on like cycle 8 or something?
Yeah, didn't they have like a different animation for like
For every
different animators?
series.
Yeah.
Ben 10, Alien Force, Ben 10, Omniforce. Ben
Okay,
10.
I like Ben 10 Universe and Omnivorse. Those two I liked.
I liked Ben 10 and Alien Force. I didn't really watch the other stuff because I just
I did not.
It's like, you don't need like 50 different shows for what is basically the same plot line, though. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't really.
I know it wasn't
always
exactly
that
the same, but
plot
like,
line,
you know what
but
I'm saying.
Also, the show's creator, I think it was Man of Action. He did explain why the art style was always changing, which is because the Alien X's species, like it's always each, and like I think this was how he explains it, and if this was the way he explained it, it's funny. Every time one of them sneezes, it changes into a different art style.
I love that. I love that.
I mean, I hope from my memory that's what it was, but if not, it should have been that way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But
apparently American Dragon, Jake Long's animation changed because they brought a new writer in, and the writer was like, I'm going to write this, but the animation needs to change. Because he apparently disliked the dragon form of Jake, and he disliked the way that the characters were designed, and he was like,
and you like the skinny toothpick version?
I know.
I know.
I was like, oh, that was his human form. I feel like their human forms were, better, but the dragon form was such a downgrade.
I know.
It was such a weird
Transition.
artistic choice, but
Right.
what are you gonna do?
Right.
Um,
You want to talk about a show that was super adult that was targeted towards kids? You want to talk about? Let's talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog. You want to talk about a show that was
God,
super
Trauma.
no.
trauma, a childhood trauma.
That show.
Oh God, I have
love that
nightmares.
show.
Look, it was so good, but it was
Okay,
way
wait,
too adult to be targeted towards children.
Okay,
I
I
don't-
guarantee you, if Courage the Cowardly Dog didn't come out when it did, it would be a huge hit now.
I agree because adult animation is more popular now. It's, first of all,
I mean, yeah,
Courage
it's
the
a-
Cowardly Dog is clearly an adult show.
Yeah,
Is
it.
all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it really is. I'm remembering a few of the plot lines, and oh my god, they were. Which one was it? Oh, I think it's something that had to do about cheese. I don't know which.
I can't remember. It's all basically a
episode was
fever
it?
dream to me.
Honestly,
To be
yeah.
honest with you.
The only thing I remember from the entire show is just the one line, "Return the slab," in that weird.
I
creepy
remember
ass-
that one. That one was good.
No,
I remember the
no,
one
no,
where
no,
they,
no, no, no,
where
no.
Muriel's hair was like but
Oh,
basically became its own being. That one was something I remember.
Again, the whole series is like a fever dream.
It basically is just a fever dream to me because it was so
Yeah.
traumatizing. But like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Another one. Yeah, that's
God.
again.
All I could think
would-
about, we were talking about adult cartoons targeted towards children, was Courage the Cowardly. All I could.
Okay, for this next one, I'm just gonna say this out front. Like the show, don't like the artist, and there's gonna be
Fair.
a few other. There's gonna be a few that
It's gonna be
a
like-
few on the show podcast that I'm gonna bring up that you may hate the creator, but you have to respect the show as its own thing.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
In that regards, I'm gonna bring up the Fairy Odd Parents
Yeah.
and Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into why I hate Butch Hartman.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack there.
I like
So-
Danny Phantom.
No, I love Danny
I
Phantom. I don't
It's not
like
I
the
know,
show.
I
It's
know.
it's the art, like the person that did the drawings.
But
yeah, no,
I'm
the person that
not.
did drawings was horrible, but
I'm not.
but the
it's
show
not-
was good.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
focus-
That's what he's
let's focus
saying.
on the show and not the creator, because
Yes.
there's one that I know that Panda's gonna have an issue with later.
Yeah,
But
I have.
focus-
I know what you're gonna talk about. I'm
Yes,
sure,
see,
so-
she already.
I'm
knows.
pretty sure I
But
already know what you're gonna talk about.
Let's talk about
So,
Danny
like,
Phantom before we get to
Let's
that.
talk about Danny
Yes.
Phantom.
Like,
I enjoyed Danny Phantom. I used to
It
watch
was
this
a-
show a lot.
you never watched News? Did you never watch it?
No,
You never watched
Oh
Danny
my God.
Phantom?
Put that
What was your
on your list.
childhood?
I've watched like a few
Actors.
episodes. No, I've watched a few episodes, but it just wasn't something I was too into.
Yeah, that's very fair. Fairly Odd Parents was something I was a little bit more into than Danny Phantom.
Yeah, I was more into
I
that until they added Poof. Like,
Yeah, that was way
well,
too
not
much.
Poof. Once they added the dog, once they added that stupid
Walking.
dog,
No,
I was done.
Poof was okay, but then
Yeah.
after the dog, yeah, I got too. They were doing too much. after that.
I just thought Fairly Odd Parents was annoying. I would
And I
watch
understand
it,
that.
but I just
I
thought
do
it
think
was
Danny
annoying,
Phantom was a more mature show,
annoying
though.
Yeah,
I really
I-
liked Danny
I
Phantom.
prefer Danny Phantom over Very Odd Parents any day of the
For
week.
sure. I agree.
I like
Just
this.
add Danny Phantom to your list.
I told you, I didn't like it.
Oh,
No, don't get me wrong. The animations, though, beautiful, so much better. I just couldn't get into it that much.
I mean, it is kind of episodic, but let's talk about what was supposed to be the season finale.
You mean
For
that
what,
hot
Danny
mess,
Phantom?
like apocalypse thing?
Why, Panda?
You mean that hot mess, like apocalypse thing that they did?
The
near
ultimate
end of it?
enemy? Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, oh
honestly,
God.
the villain for that, I'm not gonna say what the villain was, but he was actually kind of really dark.
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly one of the darkest episodes, ever.
Right.
And it was still one of the best. Now let's talk about the shmuck up, which was Phantom Planet, because that was a pain in the ass.
Well, I don't even remember.
I didn't like it. It was too washed.
What, the season finale?
Yes, the actual
The actual season finale. So
Yes.
did the show get canceled? I think it got
Yes.
canceled. Yeah, it got canceled.
Okay, it got canceled for the most stupidest reason. Because the show was geared towards the male demographic, but for some reason they decided, hey, let's cut it because the female demographics came to have popular hands on it. So let's cut it.
Oh no, girls liking something. Oh no.
It was
Yeah,
dumb. I know.
so then they put together this horrible, super rushed finale for it that literally was. The show was great. Just don't watch the last episode.
Yeah.
Don't watch the finale. It was horrible.
Right.
If you want to end on a good episode of Dame Phantom, watch The Ultimate Enemy, because that was when the show should have ended.
Right. I agree.
Oh wait,
Right.
another cartoon that was from that era. Please, oh please, tell me you guys knew this. Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Oh god.
God, that show feels like a fever dream too. Thinking about that.
show, wow.
The animation was just
I found
so
disturbing.
bad.
I found it
didn't mind-
disturbing.
I didn't mind it as much. I honestly would prefer that over Very Very Odd Parents. Don't you?
I gotta tell you, I remember this show. I happened to be just on Reddit one day, and someone was telling the story about they were an animation student in college, and one of the professors was animator for Jimmy Neutron, and they were talking about the production conditions. And they said, like, basically we're in some hot shed. There were like 7 of us, and like we were constantly rushing to get stuff out. It was like that's why it looks so weird and it's so glitchy. They had like a $7 budget, and they were like in some hot shed doing it the whole time.
The whole thing was, I think, CGI.
Yeah, it was all CGI. But yeah, Nickelodeon was like, it was like their Shrek, basically. That's what it was to them.
I mean, I don't mind it. I
don't mind Jimmy Neutron. I'm just saying that what DreamWorks to Shrek is Nickelodeon to Jimmy Neutron. That's like what it was. They didn't think it was going to be as popular as it was, so all the animators were like the B team, and they were stuck in some hot shed doing it, rushing to get stuff done, and yet it became super popular. That's how it was. Man.
I mean, honestly, a lot of the old cartoons that we grew up with are actually some of the most memeable.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Oh, for
One
sure.
of the biggest ones is SpongeBob. Next one I want to say is
I love SpongeBob. I'm sorry. I love SpongeBob.
And
I like
Rick
the-
check out because he never watched SpongeBob.
I like
fair.
the older ones. The other ones can go scrims.
Oh,
The
thank
first
God.
3 seasons of SpongeBob plus the movie are iconic.
Wait, which movie? There
The
were
first
several.
one.
Which one was the first one?
The one with
Yeah.
Darren Hasselhoff.
Oh,
David
okay.
Hasselhoff. That was amazing. Don't at
God.
me.
I think the very first episode I ever watched was when SpongeBob was knocked into like medieval time.
That was kind of a newer one.
I mean, it was still one of the good ones, but yeah,
It was a good one though.
That was an old one.
So not really. That was like season 5 or so.
No.
Dude, that was
I
when
have-
they switched
that was
over to
like-
the new animation style.
I have it on like season 1 DVD.
It's definitely not season 1. Maybe we're thinking about different episodes.
Look it up.
That's what
Do
I'm
you
saying.
mean the one where that's not medieval times. You mean the one they get knocked back into prehistoric times?
No, not that one.
I know which one. Muse is talking about. It's when like they, Krabs is the king.
Yeah, I know what she's talking
Wow.
about.
Okay. Well,
But it's definitely
okay.
not season 1.
4.
I was gonna say it's definitely
I
a
thought
later
it was
one.
a lot older than that.
No, I was gonna say that's after they switched to the new animation
Also,
style.
I like the new. I like the season 4 and up animation than the old ones. I mean, like 1 through 3. Don't get me wrong, the animation style was nostalgic, but in
Yeah.
terms of product version,
But for me,
value,
it's everything post the first SpongeBob movie just went downhill.
Yeah.
After that, for me.
Season. Oh, okay. I did watch a lot of Scooty Pants. Oh my god.
My favorite episode of SpongeBob that will always forever be Band Geeks. Always that has always because I was a band geek in high school and I cannot tell you how accurate that episode was. Because like when they get to the part where Squidward's like, any questions? And Mr. Krabs is like, when do we get free food? That was absolutely accurate. Oh my god. Big meaty claws.
y'all think Jimmy Neutron and Colin Calorie Dog was an acid trip? I personally think no. The what was this one? I think it was like the Miraculous Journey of Flapjack.
Oh my god, Flapjack.
The Misadventures. It was the Misadventures of
It
Flapjack.
was such a for me,
That was a real acid
yeah,
trip.
that was
I forgot about that show until recently. Actually, I forgot that show was a thing. I thought I dreamt it up. And
That one's for older. That was not for children.
Show Wolf did not watch growing up.
I could
I
not
watched
get
one
in.
episode.
Be
That was
glad you
dumb
didn't
and
watch that one. That
watched
was a
it.
mess.
Yeah, it was
That was
glad.
Dude, I watched one episode, thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever watched, and never watched it again.
Hey,
I
listen
will
to
say
me
I
now.
thought the same thing about SpongeBob, which is why I never watched SpongeBob again. So.
Did the
the
people
ball-
who did Flapjack? Did those people also do Chowder?
No, I don't think so. Chowder I liked.
Yeah,
was
oh
okay.
yeah, Shadow.
It was just so
I didn't like
gross.
Chowder. I just thought it
I
was,
wasn't-
thought it was
I
just
like the
dumb.
food.
I wasn't into animation as much when I was thought Shadow. I just thought it was weird. But looking back on it, I really did enjoy Shadow.
I thought it was funny. I did know it was funny.
No,
Sure.
Chowder was my childhood. Like my childhood was Chowder, Flapjack, Kids Next Door, and
Kids Next Door was great.
Oysters.
Next Door was amazing.
I didn't even think
Objectively
about
fantastic cartoon.
You
I
did not
did.
think of Wow.
Kids Next Door was great. I
Oh,
loved that.
that. Okay. Might I remind you, I've had this in the walk for 63 days. There's bound to be a few shows I forget about.
But like
You remember Flapjack, but you didn't.
not Kids Next
Yes.
Door.
Okay. The reason why I remember Flapjack was because I was going to transition into modern animation after Flapjack. But
Oh,
this
God.
We
backtracking-
can't go to modern animation without talking about Kids Next Door though.
Yes, I am backtracking now. Backtrack now.
We can't. Kids Next Door was one of those shows that was. It was on the same level of grossness as some of the other shows, but it was also hilarious and interesting and creative.
And honestly, from a kid's perspective, it was like so relatable because when you were like 8 years old and they project adults and teenagers, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like we thought it was true because the adults were trying to make you eat vegetables and like that stupid broccoli episode.
Who was number 5's voice actress?
I'm looking that up.
Because she was amazing.
She was awesome.
She was.
Five's got this. God,
Dude,
I'm not gonna talk like that. It's
Number
weird,
4
really.
and number 5 were my favorite characters.
I remember the dentist episode.
Please-
That's when I remember.
please-
it.
Yes,
Stumble.
I loved the dentist episode.
Please stumble.
I think that came out not long before I got like a cavity in one of my back teeth as a kid, and I had to go get a filling. I remember relating to it so hard.
I know, I never watched that episode and being like, oh my god, I don't want braces. I don't want... Because I had been told by a dentist I was going to get braces. And then I watched that episode and I went, I don't want braces. And so I did everything my dentist told me to do. And I avoided getting braces. And my teeth are
Unfortunately, braces were unavoidable to me. I don't. If I could show pictures of my old self, if you know what I look like now and what I used to look like on here, you would know that my mouth used to look like somebody took a lawnmower and just like rearranged shit up in there. That's what it
But
looked
yeah,
like.
honestly, number 5 was always my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Great. She was
Hands
great.
down.
She or number 1. The other ones kind of more irked me. Mainly number 2.
Yeah. Number 2 was.
Which one was number?
He was the bigger kid.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, not number 2. Not number 2.
Gookie.
Yeah.
Number
Is
Is she 3?
Number 3.
Number
She
3.
was number 3.
She irked me the most.
Seen your teeth look like this.
Yeah, her character was just very.
Rainbow monkeys, rainbow monkeys.
Oh
No,
my God,
don't.
her character was
Oh wait.
Screaming! Oh my god.
Does anyone remember when the Kid Next Door and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy had a crossover?
Vaguely? I do
No.
vaguely remember that.
Yes, but it's not because I watched the episode. I just heard people talking about it, and I saw
Were you
it
even
on the episode. And
You
I
knew
never
you were
watched
making
I
it-
thought it was weird.
You knew you were in for a hot time when there was a crossover episode as a kid, yo. It was like I think it was the Proud Family and
Oh my god,
was
the
it?
Proud Family.
the Proud Family was fantastic.
No, oh my god.
I was
Wait,
never allowed
okay.
to watch that show.
Oh,
You weren't
oh,
allowed to watch the Proud Family?
honey,
Mm-mm.
the Proud Family is making a comeback.
Yay!
Oh,
That makes me so happy.
I
No,
watched the Proud Family, but I only watched maybe a few episodes.
I was
And,
never allowed.
And the
Why weren't you allowed to watch the Proud Family? It was on the Disney Channel.
They wouldn't let me.
Is it because your parents are racist? I'm just kidding.
Oh
No,
my
it was
God.
like some.
I'm just kidding.
They said it was like
kidding.
language or something.
It was on the Disney Channel.
I'm just.
You
They
all forget-
wouldn't.
But you
You
were
just-
allowed to watch Flapjack?
We all forget music parents are incredibly overprotective, and they also have really bad common sense.
Yeah.
Flapjack was
Okay, to be fair, with
astounded by that.
Jack, I snuck that one.
That's fair.
Okay,
I
that's
snuck that.
That's
Out of curiosity, who remembers Class of 3000?
I don't.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
do. Vaguely.
I
but I
watched that.
do.
I know. We had a discussion a couple months ago about
Yes.
it, and we tried so hard to remember what it was called. 'Cause
Yes,
none
I
of us
finally-
can remember what it was called.
I finally fucking found it.
What
Yes.
show was this?
Shiota
Wait.
searched his butt off trying to find out what the hell it was. It was.
Yes, I put all of my animation knowledge to use that day.
What show is this? What show is this?
Oh, you would have loved it, Panda.
It was all
Honestly.
about music. It was so called Class of 3000. You should watch it. It's just about
Class of-
music.
Okay. I don't remember this though.
But let's go back to Flapjack, because after all Flapjack, I want to.
I'm just astounded that somehow I'm still astounded by that. Like, oh no, how dare you watch Phineas and Ferb watches Flapjack?
Hey, Phineas and Ferb.
You know, like, and shows like that, because, like, to me, Proud Family and Phineas and Ferb are about the same level, to be honest.
I watched Phineas. Phineas and Ferb was funny. I liked that show.
That was a great
That
show.
one I
Ferb
loved.
was great. Here,
And I guess we
this
can go into
this is Class
and
of
I guess-
3000.
I guess we can go into the modern animation now.
I don't remember this. I
Oh,
wonder
wait,
if
can I
ever
talk
watched
about
it.
one? Can I talk about one more like old show
Is it-
that I used to watch?
Go ahead.
Anybody ever heard of the show Cyber Chase?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my fucking
I
god!
love that
Yes.
show!
That makes
was-
me feel. I remember that show early in the morning. You remember when you take a sick day and you turn to PBS?
Oh my
PBS
God,
and Missy
yeah.
was on. Yes.
Oh, I watched
Oh
it
yeah,
every time I
I
came
watched
home.
Talking Shark.
I know. No,
That show-
I watched that every time I came home from elementary school. I would just
Yeah.
turn the TV on and Cyber Chase would be on.
Yeah,
It was
I would watch it every time I came home. There would be 2 episodes every time, and I would sit there and watch it.
I know, my mom would be like, fine, just do your homework after, because I was like, it's Cyber Chase, I can't not watch it. And she was like, fine, just make sure you do your homework
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, no, my mom was fine with it because it's like, oh, it's an educational show.
Barely.
Yes.
Barely.
One,
Like,
2, 3.
Barely. It
4.
was still an educational thing. The only
Like math, yeah.
the last thing I remember of that, it was when Hackle actually hacked into motherboard.
Oh yeah.
The
I remember
last
that
thing.
episode.
That's the last thing I remember of it. I
Yeah.
don't remember what happened after that.
God, that's a show I kind of want to go back and rewatch just because of the
Honestly.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
God,
Let's move on to modern animation with Phineas and Ferb since y'all already brought it up.
It's 101 days till summer vacation. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Hated watching that when it was fall. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you
Yeah.
and your never-ending summer.
and also Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb also contains another character that if you liked her, then you are now a lesbian.
Yes.
Are you talking about the Vanessa?
Yes! Oh my
Okay,
god.
she's a hot chick.
She was
No,
so hot.
Can we
I'm happy right now.
talk about the weird relationship between her and Ferb?
That was so
Oh my!
weird.
Wait,
I did
how
not
old is? No, hold on. How old is Ferb really?
12.
Not old enough to date.
And
They're not
to be
young
fair, she
teenagers.
never dated Ferb. To be fair, she never dated Ferb. Ferb just had a fat crush on her, which was
They
really
ended
weird.
up with each other like in
At
that
the
college
end,
episode.
But
yeah.
that was like he was in college though, so like that's not like
Yeah.
that's not the same.
No, but
That was,
Vanessa,
years and years and years later.
Vanessa just didn't look like she aged a bit.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
how
when
old
you
was
get to a
she
certain
really?
age, you pretty much look the same for
Yeah, to be honest, like all
She was
4 of us
16.
look relatively the same.
she
You've
was
never
16.
seen any baby pictures of me. Don't you assume?
I'm
She
talking
was-
about the last 4 years.
Like
Okay.
she was 16 when most of the show happened, right? She was like her and Candace were the
Okay.
same age.
Yeah, about.
So-
Okay, like yeah, that's only 4 years apart. Like at that age, it's like ill.
College,
but-
if he's like 20 or like 19, and then she would be like
23.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like they'd be like.
But
I
the
wouldn't call that
relationship-
super weird.
The relationship I would get behind is Phineas and Isabella.
Yes, I
Yeah.
get behind that.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Isabella has been sipping for Phineas for how long?
And Phineas is an absolute idiot. It's not even that he didn't like her; it's just that he's too dumb.
He was oblivious.
In all fairness, he does consider Isabella cute.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Like he even like likes her. It's just that he's just too oblivious to notice anything's going on.
Until high school, but that's when she gave up.
Right? Because like she's been trying for years. I don't blame her.
I mean, yeah, I don't blame her either.
Remember,
Hell, I would've given up too.
Remember the movie? When
Oh my god. Yeah.
it was basically if different smarts was actually smart.
Okay, can I just say I feel like more than half of the audience for that show was there just for Perry the Platypus.
Honestly,
yeah.
I
Dude,
gotta
I was
admit.
totally just there for
Platypus.
him and Deacon.
Oh my god,
That's all.
My parents did not even show up for my birth. There we go.
the jokes. The jokes in that show were great. Like, I remember there was this one scene where like different smarts was in a dino, and like Perry Platypus comes in and is like, "Hi, you're trapped in modern decency."
Command you to sit and enjoy this breakfast with me. And sweet.
But remember when he
God.
tried so hard for his daughter? How he always tried so hard for his daughter's birthdays.
Yeah,
That was
He
cute.
was such a good dad.
Hey, you know what? He was doing his best. Like,
Yeah.
No, he was.
Like-
I'm being legit. He was a great dad.
yeah.
Okay, going along that show, what was y'all's favorite song from the show?
My favorite
Shit,
song
don't
is
ask me this.
Busted. Busted
Thank
was my
you.
favorite song, hands down.
I can't decide. I can't choose.
I honestly have to agree with Warfield.
Okay,
I,
your top few. Can you do that?
I need to look through my.
And Ashley Tisdale is one of the few Disney stars that I still stand like to this day too. I love Ashley Tisdale too. She's in this show now where she's playing a lesbian, and I never knew I needed Ashley Tisdale to be an awkward lesbian ever. But like,
Oh my God.
she's like, so there was an episode where she shaves like half part of her head, and it was shorter than she thought it was gonna be. And she's like, "Oh my God," having a freak out, which is like every queer girl at some point goes through something like that. It just
Yeah. Oh god. Going along songs, I think my top 3 was Busted, Ain't Got Rhythm, and
That's
Give
great.
Me an A.
I don't know, but like that show's good.
Oh god, it was.
I'm just trying to look at the songs to remind myself which one's which.
I really did though. I
Dude,
really
would
did have a crush on Vanessa.
re-listen to the songs just so I could remember what they were. I can't remember them just based on the name. I remember Squirrel in My Pants.
That one was funny.
I say Squirrel in My Pants and Busted are probably my 2 favorites.
I love the episode where Candace becomes some model for a guy, and at the end she's like, "I'll always be his whatever it means." I can't remember what the exact words were, but Ferb was just like, "You do realize the French for pencil neck."
Oh my god.
Honestly, every time Forbes opened his mouth.
It was
Amazing.
a smart ass remark, it seems like.
The sass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, can we talk about how Buford has a mold for all of his...
Oh my
He's like, where
God,
did you
yeah.
get that life-size mold for Candace? I have life-size molds of all my friends. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
The implications of that, I don't even want to think about. To be honest, like,
Some of the jokes were just spot on. Like, I doubt I can find it in my Pinterest. It was like,
your Pinterest.
hey,
Oh my god.
hey, leave me alone. Leave me alone. There was
He's trying.
there was like they had like face masks on, and people's like, "Hey, face, which way are you looking?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Oh my god, yeah.
And there was another one where like it's Face is saying like, "I love it how we can just say, hey, we're gonna dose you all in pheromones," and they're like, "Cool, yeah, okay, let's do it." It's like I love our friends.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, some of the jokes in that show was.
Honestly, I feel like if we had that creativity, we would have been them. In a sense.
Right.
Yeah, if we had like actual cartoon logic, but I was really sad when that show then, but thankfully, transition. The minds behind it actually came up with another show, which is just as good, in my opinion. Milo Murphy's Law.
Haven't heard of it.
I figured the modern cartoon section is where I'm gonna lose all 3 of you. So
I just remembered a show that's old. I'm sorry.
Don't
I
worry about it.
know.
Let's just move on. It's
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
yeah, again, I figured I was gonna lose all of you in the modern animation section. But yeah, like what Milo Murphy's Law is, it's as the name suggests, like it's about this I think 16-year-old kid named Milo. His family is a descendant of the original Milo's Law. Anything that can go bad will. Like he has some of the stupidest good luck.
Yeah, Murphy's Law, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
You may want to keep keep Google up, because I feel like I'm gonna lose a lot of you very soon.
Yep, I'm keeping it up. Don't worry about that.
I mean, I know there's one particular show that 2 of you will get. 1 of you maybe not as much. But yeah, like Doofenshmirtz is in there. Perry makes a few cameos here and there.
Yeah, I've heard of it and like seen it pop up. I've actually never watched it.
Like it, yeah, like the two, and yeah, like the creators are actually in the show,
Mm.
and there's the safety guard Elliot, who's like always about safety, but then there's this walking incarnation of disaster just walks past him and like he gets blown away by a tornado or whatever.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are just listening to me. Well, so let's go on to the next one. Steven Universe. Let's go.
Oh,
Thank
here
you.
we go. This is the
Thank
one he was telling me about.
Yes, the one show that all.
Now, this is the one I'm sure he was talking about when he said, like,
Yes.
Panda, don't get irked about the creator. I was like, okay, I'll do my best.
Talk about the show.
No, I will not
Please.
rant about how much I don't like Rebecca Sugar. Let's move on. I don't. Let's move on. Okay.
Back to the
I love
animation.
Garnet.
Oh God, who
Yeah,
doesn't?
Yeah,
Thick thighs do indeed save lives. That's what we learned in that show.
Also, do I really need to talk about Lapis Lazuli? I mean, she's a poster child of trauma.
Yeah. But can we
Yeah.
talk about a show that is almost 100% filler episodes until
Okay, this is where I.
Season 1.
Okay,
I'm sorry, it's
This is where I will throw down the gauntlet. The filler episodes where you think it is actually filler is actually not, because like it shows the progression of the townsfolk.
No,
some
it
extent.
does. It's just like the full storyline doesn't seem like it started till season 2.
Yeah, that's fair, because it
Like,
just it's
Character development has happened in season 1, but the storyline itself didn't.
Right.
I mean, it's the journey of Steven. That's why I call it Steven Universe. Steven is inexperienced in season 1. Slowly becomes a little bit more into the game. Then that's when it seems like the plot picks up, because Steven's actually embracing his mother's side of the family.
The messed up side of his family.
Yes, the very messed up side of the family, the one that has all the secrets and ends up causing Steven to have trauma. Yes,
God.
so much trauma.
Just the 2 episodes of the room. Of his room.
Right.
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Ugh,
Oh my god. I just
there was 2.
I'm here for open same-sex couple representation in a child's TV show.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolutely. I love Ruby and Sapphire. I think they're adorable. I hate that in Russia Ruby is a dude, so that they can show the show there.
The Carnivals actually they actually did get back and watch a few times. Like there's a few, like you can see a few maps, and like where Russia would be, it's just like complete hole.
Right. It's just like nothing fun ever happened.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, also like there was this one episode. I don't want to say too much, but they incorporate something that's hella gay and story elements. So if you skip that episode, you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" Do you know which one I'm talking about, Muse?
I'm really trying to remember because there's a couple I could think of.
Were you United?
And there's, and obviously
Oh.
Pearl's unrequited lesbian love, relatable.
It's over, isn't it?
It's exhausting. Just shut up about it.
Muse, you asked what your favorite Phineas and Ferb song is. I'm asking you this now. What's your favorite?
No!
Don't. Okay, to be fair, these are really. I do say the music is great on the show.
Oh my god.
I'm a big fan of. It's over, isn't it? Actually, for
Yeah, same.
genuinely,
Fucking same.
just the fact that they had to go back and reanimate that scene because the voice actors went so hard in the studio
God.
during that.
I love it.
I'm here
No,
for
I'm
it.
stuck between 3.
Also, it emanates with me and my lesbian soul who has gone with an unrequited like
My
straight
top
girl
3
love.
are-
Been there, you know.
Here comes the thought, because that's a number 1 song I always play whenever I have a paranoia attack. It's over, isn't it? And
Do it for her, for me too.
Stronger Than You.
Stronger Than You is great, but I actually prefer Do It for Her.
Actually,
Just
Shiota,
because I
those are
love her
also my
voice.
top.
I do love her voice.
That's another add it to the list, Muse. Add it to the list.
I gotta say that
Okay,
like the
no,
voice
I mean,
actress for
actually-
Pearl has a beautiful voice, and I really enjoy her. I think she was great. She just goes so ham that they literally have to reanimate some of Pearl's scenes because of how ham the voice actress goes. She's just that great.
Yeah.
I admire that. That's the kind of extra I want to be. You know.
And I'm pulling up my gallery because I was looking for pictures earlier with shows I do want to talk about. I can cross.
I will
off
say
the
the part. I also liked the episode where the one episode I thought was actually good. That was kind of a filler episode, but did have some progression. Was the episode after Pearl admits that she'd been taking advantage of the situation with Peridot or whatever
Oh.
in order to fuse with Garnet.
Yeah, that you're talking about I think it was like Touchstone. No,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It was the episode after that.
Yellowstone Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was a great episode because, like, it was talking about, like, first of all, like, if I was afraid they weren't even going to acknowledge it because it was very clear in the show that to Garnet, like, fusion is essentially
separate.
very intimate, very important thing to her. So it was. I'm glad they actually acknowledged how upsetting that would be. You know, like that would be very upset because I would personally be very upset. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know. And it also, like, I love the conflict of interest where, like, Sapphire just constantly wants to be super logical and not acknowledge emotions. And then there's this Ruby's always, like,
Illogical.
really focused on the emotional impact of things. That's really cool. That was interesting.
It's
Oh gosh, the cowboy episode.
Let's not talk.
Oh gosh.
Okay, to be fair though, the ending was great.
Everything laying up was weird. Wait, are we
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman. A giant woman.
Are we thinking wait.
Where it was after Pearl
That's awful.
admits about Ruby Rose,
Oh,
and then Garnet splits up.
Give me Rose Quartz.
Sorry, why was
You
I
know,
saying?
shit hits the fan when Garnet splits.
Oh my god, I was thinking of
You know, shit hits the
Yeah.
fan really fast.
Rose Quartz. Why was I thinking of Ruby?
But
Ruby
yeah,
Rose, the actress?
No,
No,
Ruby Rose as
the
a
show.
movie.
No.
But yeah, I do know what you're talking about, and honestly, the episode after that, the one focusing on Bismuth, like, oh my god, that was actually kind of tear-jerking.
That
like,
was.
You wouldn't think it was, but like, I have been in that kind of situation before, so I did relate to Bismuth a lot.
Oh god, just her screaming in lava, then coming out. I was like, that makes so much sense. It's like, yeah, it actually does.
Oh yeah, she was ready to take it to the head, but no, can't do that, sister. Wait, did you ever see the movie in future?
I only got halfway through until for some reason, Alien stopped it, and then we never continued. No, wait, you, Alien, and I were trying to watch it, but it was so janky and it wasn't working.
Wait, was it with Alien?
Yes.
I thought it was with Wolf.
No, it was with Alien. Wolf never watched it.
Wolf's never seen Steven Universe.
I only remember watching it once with Alien, and that's when I went the whole place after because I couldn't see it.
Wolf tried to help you guys get it set up so you could watch it together over Discord, but he
Yes,
had no idea what the hell Steven Universe was.
Oh, okay, that's what, and it didn't work.
Rectify that sometime.
You're just gonna have to watch it on your own, Muse.
That's no fun.
Well, then wait till COVID's done, and then you two can watch it together.
Yeah, fail. But I want to go in the future, but I also don't want to spoil it from you. So let's move on. Because there's a few things I want to touch on future, but I can't because of spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
So we talked about the one of the babies, but let's talk about the father. Adventure Time. I remember Muse. You said you didn't really get into it, but you have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, I've watched quite a few episodes. It's just not something where I follow through every single episode.
I mean, yeah, there's a few episodes it is really episodic, but there are some that like really progresses the story. Like first it was Flapjack, then it was Adventure Time, then Adventure Time kicked off this whole thing of like golden era animation. Or I should say modern animation. Like, and Roberta Shogo did actually was a storybook. She worked on Adventure Time. I don't know what she was exactly, but she was on it. She wrote the one song. It was about like the original inspiration was about Rebecca's rabbit. Like she lost it and got it, and it was upside down, but it was like really faded. Some of the music that went into an Adventure Time will really what's a word? I'm not going to think of a word. I'm just going to say it. It was like Steven Universe, like its successor Steven Universe. It was really some of the music was pretty good. Like there wasn't any like, no, was it Marceline is a thing, which is actually, yeah. Let's take a minute and talk about Marceline and Bubblegum.
Oh
yes.
God.
You have my attention.
Muse, I'm with you. I watched Adventure Time, but never could really get into it.
I would watch it just for Marceline and Bubblegum, honestly.
Okay, honestly, yeah, yeah.
I was like, the lesbian tension through the whole show between those two was crazy.
They finally got together, and like after
finally.
I mean,
just like I wish shows would grow some balls and just like make the character like outwardly gay.
Honey, trust me, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I promise you, I'm getting there.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to mention later.
There's a few shows actually, but I'll let your imagination run wild. Yeah, like while Adventure Time is a bit episodic, they're all like a few episodes. Like it's like this 8-part episodic series. There was Stakes, which is centered all around Marceline and her and whole past for the vampires. Then there was Island. There was like Adventure Time Island, which dove into like Finn's past. Is anyone did Panda?
Yeah, Panda's frozen.
Okay, good. I just
Panda's
want to make
frozen.
sure it wasn't just me. There was Stakes Island, which honestly I did really like Island because it showed just exactly who Finn is and where he gets his personality from. Which is mostly from his mother because his father can go die in a dumpster.
Oh god, I can agree with you on that. Like I saw snippets of those episodes, and I'm like, oh god, just go away already.
Then after there goes
Mm-hmm.
and here's Panda.
Oh, come back.
And then Come Along With Me was the final episode, which honestly had a lot of build up. In my opinion. Then afterwards, HBO came out with Adventure Time Distant Lands, which is like these I want to say half an hour episodes centering around. So far, there's been two. There's one that has BMO and another one that's focused on Marceline and Bubblegum. Panda, I suggest if you're big into Bubblegum.
Do you
and
mean the one
Marceline-
where she like Bubblegum just goes and starts a farm or whatever? Is that the one?
No.
No, okay. That's a good one though. I do like that episode.
It was. I think it was called Adventure Time. Oh, fap. I think it was like. It was Adventure Time, and why is Google not pulling up from? Okay, you know.
Is that the new one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what that is.
If you love gay and if you love Adventure Time, I suggest you watch that. The one
I know the lesbian subreddit I'm on is always posting about it.
Okay then. Well, I think because I didn't have to say anything.
I know what that is.
Let's see.
Oh.
Moving on. Okay, I remember this is another one Muse was kind of meh about. Gravity Fall.
No, just no. I
It's
could not
okay.
get into that one.
Gravity Falls. I watch Gravity Falls. I love that show.
Okay, Wolf, you're gonna be my co-host on this one.
Yes, I got you, dude. I got you now. Now I
Thank
enjoy
you.
the discussion.
I have six more I want to talk about. One of them I'm just gonna glaze over because I haven't actually watched it yet, but it's on my watch list. I just haven't gotten into it. But Gravity Falls, like, while it is all wacky and kooky, it's actually pretty good with like underlying mysteries and whatnot.
It's just a really good show.
Yeah, and considering the Alex Horsch did like pretty much 1/5 of the voices, which is, I don't even think it's one. It's just only 1/5, but he did voice a lot of them. Conquer Stan, Bill Cipher, Zeus.
Yeah, dude,
I can think
he really cared about his show. He point blank told people that he was only making 2 seasons and they would never change his mind because he didn't want it to be one of those shows that would go on and on and on and decrease in quality. So he said, I'm only going to do 2 seasons. Also, he was one of those people that would leave little things in his show to show people that he didn't forget about what had happened in previous episodes.
Like coded messages, like whenever the opening sequence ended, like there's always like this quick jabble of like backwards messages. So like if you rewind it, you hear something else. Like it was like
You could tell that as a creator, he loved his job. He loved doing that show.
Yeah, like this modern animation is like very simple animation, but solid stories.
Yes.
Sometimes some stories better than others. Like honestly, the gnome puking rainbows is pretty much me.
I'm getting an image in my head now.
Oh man.
Like it was a show that you could tell like the creator cared a lot about it. Then another show, and sure I'm almost done. I have 5 more left. Is Star versus the Forces of Evil. Anyone?
Yes. Yes.
Anyone? Okay,
Wolf
thank
watched
you.
that show. Wolf loved that show.
It was so good up until the last season.
Yeah, the last season just seemed like they were just trying to end it. They were like, "Oh, it's the last season."
They've again simple animation, tell a story until the final season. Like everything. I kind of prefer Tom over Marco, but that's just me.
I like Tom over Marco. Tom was just a
Thank
much
you.
more interesting character to me, and he had a really good character development. Because he started out being a jerk, and then he just wound up being better.
Yeah, and also can we also agree Bunnyhead is kind of how's the nicest way I can say this? A bitch?
Yes. That is literally the nicest way you can say that.
She's like, gang goal. Oh whatever. Like pretty much stereotypical teenage goal, but my favorite character, and I will fight you if you disagree on this. Oh wait, no. My favorite relationship in the series, and I will fight you if you disagree on me. Eclipsa and whole it's a glove goal. That's it.
I loved Eclipse's character development. Because they made her out to be such a bad guy, and then she wound up not being that.
Like
She wound
I
up
guess
just
you can-
being a mom.
Oh yeah, I guess you can kind of draw parallels with it, like being like your parents don't want you marrying this person, but you do it anyways, and like you have a great and healthy relationship. But again, that's one of my favorite one. But the only thing I don't like about the series is the final episode seemed very rushed. And
Starverse versus Evil?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, when I watched the final episode, I literally went, is that it? Is that seriously, like, is there not another what?
Also, like I don't like that rushed conclusion of Star's in-game relationship.
I know,
Like it was kind of
I just...
honestly, I think it could have just been like because he's my friend, and not just because he's my boyfriend. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like the entire final season was just the creators trying to finish up the show.
Right.
Well,
But
some of the characters did have good character development. Yeah, Star and Marco, I just feel like that entire thing was just kind of rushed.
But shout out to Jackie, who was low-key hinted to be a lesbian. I am trying to radio panda, but I am gay.
It's all good.
So I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum.
It's
So
okay. Don't worry
before
about
I
it.
go into lesbian territory, let's continue. This one it kind of mixes between the classic and remake. There's another one that I'm gonna be talking about that also fits in this. The 2017 reboot of DuckTales.
Haven't seen it.
Just no.
Haven't seen it.
Here's Don't Be a Scrooge.
That's their uncle. He's in it.
I know. Don't be a Scrooge. Don't be a hum.
It will be about humbug Scrooge about that. The classics.
I know.
Do something that was good.
Okay. No. The remake actually expands on the classic. Like okay, name me one time in the original that Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mother was mentioned. One time in the classic. One time.
Touche, but still, the animation style I don't like.
The mother is actually a fucking character in this remake.
Okay, again, I still don't. I just don't like the style.
Each season, they give each of the triplets a time to shine. Season 1, it was Dewey. Season 2, it was Louie. Then the current season, it's Huey's. And Rebecca von Vandercrack is actually very similar to Mabel from Gravity Falls.
No, I'm still not gonna watch it.
That name.
I've heard of the show. I have no interest in watching it.
The comedy in that show is like on point. Like there's this one joke in the first episode, like Webby is grilling the triplets, like who's that? Favorite color, favorite number, etc. Then she asks, who's the evil clone? And Huey and Dewey say Louie, and Louie's just like, meh.
Okay. Again, I just can't get behind the style. Is my issue.
That's fair, but again, like it's just so good. It answers mysteries, and there's like callbacks to the Donald Duck comics, the original source material. Like there's this one episode. There's actually one character I think you'd like in the remake, and she wasn't in it. She wasn't in the original, but there's one character I think you'd vibe with well. Actually, there's another person I think Bookworm will vibe well with. Okay, I'm gonna stop myself there, or I'm gonna go into a.
Let's go into the next.
Yeah.
Or animation, yada yada yada. I should have wrote a speech about this because I knew you people wouldn't. Because I knew when we got a modern animation, I'd just be talking to myself.
Excuse you, Wolf knew some modern animation.
Yeah, but not as. I mean, Gravity Falls, yes. Thor, yes. Anything else?
Not really, no.
Yeah. My point is that point.
Screw you.
Oh yeah, it has the same. It has similar humor to Gravity Falls and the Owl House. It has a lot of pop culture references, like a PowerPoint is like these three colored gems that are very similar to the Triforce. Like there's blue, green, and seemingly yellow. No, not yellow. Red. So there's Triforce. There's Sonic references. And if you're not an animation nerd like me, I still suggest you should do Amphibia and the Owl House, because those are
Shiota?
two series that I'm looking forward to.
Might be me.
And I am gonna end up talking. I'm gonna shut up now because Panda wants to talk.
Panda, what happened?
I think she.
I think her internet's crapping out again.
Okay, it is me then? Okay.
It is just you, unfortunately.
It was me. Okay, it's no big deal. I'm back.
But yeah, I can't continue talking on because I cannot bounce. I cannot bounce up with someone else if someone else isn't there.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay, but just wait till we watch it. So a few more of us wind up watching these things.
I'm not banking on it.
Well, thank you for listening to our, once again, gay and childhood rants. This evening. Hope y'all are having a lovely start to 2021, even though it's been wild. All right.
Yeah, remember when everybody said that 2021 was going to be better than 2020? Honey,
just remember, 2020
continues.
2020, prepare for trouble. 2021, and make it double.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Wow. Have a lovely evening. And try and hang in there.
Mm-hmm.